everyone, in this video we are going to change the general equation of a horizontal parabola, or otherwise called a sleeping parabola, to its equivalent vertex or graphing form. So this is the general equation of a horizontal or sleeping parabola. Others starts with negative x, that should be fine, or you can start with a y squared, it doesn't really matter, but these are the variables that are involved for a horizontal parabola. This is the vertex or the graphing form. So what are we doing is that we are given this general equation and we are supposed to change it to its graphing form so that we are able to know the vertex HK. Now let's take this first example right here. Change the equation y squared plus 6y minus x plus 13 equals 0 to its equivalent vertex or graphing form. Just by looking at this equation right here, we don't know where the vertex is, or we don't know where the locator point is. So then we go ahead and change this to its equivalent graphing form. So these are the steps that we need to do. So first, I'm going to just rewrite this. So that would be y squared, that's plus 6y minus x plus 13 equals 0. Now, what are we going to do is we are going to group together all the y's. So those variables with y's on them, we group them on one side. So then we can go ahead and add x to both sides. And then minus 13. So I go ahead and add x here and then minus 13 to the other side. So once we do that, we can cross the x and the 13 out. So we're left with y squared plus 6y is equal to, that's going to be x minus 13. The next thing that we are going to do is to add blanks to both sides. So that's going to be a plus blank and plus blank. So pretty much similar to the ones that we did from the other videos on circle and on quadratic equation. What are we going to do to find the value that we write on the blank is that we are supposed to divide this every time by 2. So it's going to be 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then whatever that number is, we are going to always square it. So it's going to be, I put down here, that's 3 squared is actually 9. And this would be the number that we write up here. So we're going to write it to both of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and write plus 9 and plus 9. So then we can go ahead and simplify this. So this would come out y squared plus 6y plus 9 equals, that's going to be x. And then that's a minus 4 because you have a negative 13 plus 9 is a negative 4. So I'm going to show the work up here for the rest of the steps. So what are we going to do now is we are good, since this is already a perfect square trinomial, you can actually use the box and diamond to factor this out. So we can go ahead and factor that out. Again, you can use box and diamond for it. That should be fine. But I'll give you a trick on how to quickly determine what numbers do we write in here. So we know that it should be y and y. So the ones that we pair up here would be this number right here. So that's the trick. Again, you can use the box and diamond to determine the factors for this. But again, the trick or the fastest way to determine what do we write up here would be this number right here. So after you divide it by 2, the number right there should go up here. So that would be a plus 3 since it's a positive. So plus 3 and plus 3. And this makes sense because if we use the area model for these two, it would come out y squared plus 6y plus 9. So this is the factored form of this. So then we can go ahead and simplify this some more since these two are the same. So we can go ahead and rewrite this as y plus 3. And that's going to be squared. That means there are 2 of them is equal to x minus 4. And so we can go ahead and add 4 to both sides because remember that in a sleeping parabola, the side should only be x. So then we have to isolate the x by itself on one side. So then we can go ahead and add 4 to both sides. Then plus 4 so that we can have x by itself. So we can go ahead and cross this out. So we're left with y plus 3, that's going to be squared, plus 4 equals x. Or if we want the x on the left side, so it's pretty much the same thing. X is equal to y plus 3, and then squared plus 4. And so this is our graphing form, or the vertex form for that. There should be a squared there, so let me rewrite that down here. So that's a squared. So this is the graphing form for this equation right here. So we remember that this represents our h and this represents our k. So then the vertex that we're gonna have would be that's gonna be h first, so that's 4. And then the k should be switched. So that should be -3. So the vertex is at 4, -3. And since our a is invisible, +1 right there. So that means this opens to the right. So this graph opens to the right. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, so we go over the problem here. So I'm just gonna rewrite this. So that's negative 2y squared, and then that's plus 20y, and then that's minus x plus 58 equals 0. Now, again, we are supposed to isolate all the ones with y's on them. So then we can go ahead and add x to both sides. And then, so I add x here, and I can subtract subtract 58 minus 58. So then we are left with all y's on the left side. So then we can go ahead and cross this out. So we are left with negative 2y squared plus 20y is equal to x minus 58. So then from here, we can go ahead and factor this out. Since the common factor, we can take -2 as the common factor, so we can just have y squared, which is positive. So I can go ahead and have -2 outside of the parentheses. So it's like doing the distributive backwards. So -2, so I can have -2y squared. So I'm going to put here y squared, so that if I do the distributive here, that would be -2 times y squared is -2y squared. And then from here, I'm going to have a -10y, because if I multiply these two, so -2 times -10 is a positive 20y, and that is equal to, that's gonna be x minus 58. So then we're gonna add blank to both sides here. So I'm gonna add plus blank and plus blank here. So if I add blank on one side, I add on the other side too, so to make them even. So then we are going to determine what number do we write on these blanks. So again, it's this value right here. So I can go ahead and always divide that by 2. So -10 divided by 2. So it's always divided by 2 each time. So this is -5. So -10 divided by 2 is -5. And so I can go ahead and square it. So that's going to be -5 squared is equal to 25. So that's the one that I will write up here. So that's 25. So that's gonna be plus 25. So I'm gonna write 25 right here. Now remember that it's supposed to be distributed here with a -2. So pretty much we are actually adding, this becomes -2 times 25 is -50. So that means I am going to add a -50 on the other side. Again, the reason why these two are not the same, it's because it was actually, the -2 was distributed to the 25. So that was actually -50. So I'm going to add -50 to this side. So then we can go ahead and simplify this. So this would come out -2. And then we have y squared minus 10y plus 25. And that is equal to x. So if we simplify this, -58 plus -50 is -108. So then I'm going to continue to show the work up here. We simplify this. So we can go ahead and we can factor this out. Again, you can use the box and diamond for this, but I give you a trick. So that would be -2. And then it's going to be the 2 factors right there. So I put 2 parentheses, and then that is equal to x minus 108. So I'm just gonna write 108 right here. So then I can go ahead and get the factors. Again, it should be y and y. So I put y and y right there. Now the trick is it's this number right here that we pair up over here. So that would be a -5, and then that's a -5. So then if you multiply these two, and multiply it by -2, it will come out back to this form. Okay, so what are we gonna do now is, since we have y -5, there are two of them, so I can go ahead and write -2 parentheses y -5, and I'll square it. That means there were two of them, is equal to x minus 108. So then we want the x by itself, so we can have the graphing form or the vertex form. So then we can go ahead and add 108 to both sides. So that's plus 108 plus 108. So then we can cross the 108 out. So we're left with -2 parentheses y -5 squared plus 108 is equal to x. Or if we want the x on the left side, we can go ahead and rewrite this and switch this two sides of the equation. That would be x is equal to -2. Then that's y -5. That's squared plus 108. And so this is the equation, or this is the graphing form of this equation up here. So then we can go ahead and say that our vertex, remember that this is the h and this is the k. So our vertex would be at 108, and then switch this, so that's a +5. And then this is gonna open to the left since that's a -2. So this opens to the left. Did you get the same answers as this? Good, perfect. If you found this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!